All right, this is chapter 6 again, chapter 6.1. So we're going to talk about the vector field here. What is vector field? All right. So if I have a p of xy, q of xy are two functions. So functions with the two variables there. Of the two variables x and y defined on a plane, R, any plane, the function f is, if your capital F is defined by the two p of and q functions with the variable, two variables, right? And that is called a vector field. Okay, if it is a three dimension, then you're going to have p, x, y, z, and then I plus q, x, y, z, and plus r, x, y, z, k. All right, and that is going to be your f of x, y, z. All right, this is how you define the vector field. So what is this? We're going to graph in a second here. So vector examples of vector fields are what? Just like electric force field, velocity fields, like a velocity in if you look at the river, like every point on the river, like there's like a flow in the river. So every point has some kind of vector you can create, right? How fast is moving, what's the magnitude, all right, what direction it's moving. So air's flow fields, you can create a vector field there. Magnetic field is also a vector field. Gravitational force is a vector field, and so on. So there's so many examples there. Okay, so I'm gonna pause here. I'm gonna show you some examples in how does it look in the graph, and then we're gonna show you how to. Maybe we're gonna do one example how to even graph. Okay. All right, there are some examples. Like this is a vector field too, right? So every look at that, every point there's like it's moving towards the left corner, right? So and then if you go at bottom here, it's going to go right corner. So there's other vector field like that. So every point you can create a vector, right? That's what and then you have vectors at every point. So you have all this field it creates. Okay, so some other examples like that. I mean, this is, I just put it in the from your Google, so I just copied there from there. Okay, you can just use it, and then so we're gonna do that in a second, how to draw this one. Okay, one example. I'll pause it here. All right, we saw the example there. Now we're gonna draw one simple example. Okay, very simple one. So but you can always do this one in your computer, like you can type for the vector field and then plotters, and then you can see that, right? You can plug in this one into the into that computer, and then it just creates a vector field. Okay, so let's see. So I want to create this vector field manually. I will do this. Okay, so I'm going to put it here. So points. So every point has a vector. Remember that. And then your vector is, again, your vector is y I minus. So I shouldn't put that in this here, right? yi minus 2xj. Okay, that's the vector I'm going to create here. So let's start with the very basic one. Let's see, what about 0, 0? If I have a 0, 0, what vector I'm going to get? So it's x is 0, y is 0, it's going to be 0, 0. Okay. What about 1, 0? So remember the x is 1. So this is your vector, as we put it like that. So if 1, 0, right? X is 1, y is 0. So look at that. Y is 0, so that's going to be 0i. Or 0, let's put just a 0, comma. And your x is 1, right? So that means that's a negative 2. Negative 2. So if I go at 1, 0, that's a 1, 0, 0.10, and I'm gonna go 0. So x direction is 0, but y direction is negative 2. So my graph is my vector is going to be look like that. Okay. Right, let's do 2 0. I have 2 0. So you remember that x is 2, y is 0. So y is 0, that means that's going to be 0i. 0i means 0, comma. 2 is like if x is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, so it's still negative 4. And I'm going to have at 2 0, I'm going to have 0. You're going to go 0 direction and then go to negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to go like that. And that's your vector. Right? So let's do 1, 1. 1, 1. So 1, 1 is over here. So let's see, x is 1, y is 1, right? So I'm going to put y is 1 there. So 1i, so that's 1 comma negative 2, right? So from here, I'm going to go 1 unit to the right and then 2 units to the bottom, 1, 2, right? So the graph is going to be look like that. That's your vector at 1, 1. So let's see if I show 1, 2. Let's go a little bit up here, 1, 2. If I go 1, 2, that means your y is 2. So I'm going to do 2. Again, vector. Y is 2. And then x is, like I'm going to put a 1. So it's going to be negative 2. Right, 2. So 1, 2. From there, I'm going to go there and then 1, 2 down. So it looks like I need to create that vector. Okay. So let's do one more in that same places. I don't know. So that's enough there, probably. So let's move on to what about 0, 1. 0, 1 is over here. 0, 1 is over here. So remember that x is 0. So that means j is 0. That's going to be 0. And then your y is 1. So it's going to be 1, 1, 0. So from here, it's going to be 1, 0. So 1 is this way. So that's going to look like that. Right? If it's 0, 2, what did I do? 0, 2. So again, your x is 0. So that's going to be 0. So y is 2. So it's going to be 2, comma 0. So it's going to be from here is going to go 2 like that. Okay. Let's go 0, negative 1. 0. X is 0, so that's 0. Negative 1 is, so y is negative 1. So negative 1, comma 0. So from here, if I have a 0, negative 1, you go negative 1, 0. So that means it's going to go this way. Okay. Let's go one more. 0, negative 2. So if I do 0, negative 2, your x is 0. So that means j part is 0. And then y is negative 2. So I'm going to put negative 2 because your y is y there. Okay. So negative 2. So it's going to go like that. Okay. Negative 1, 0. So negative 1, 0 is over here. So again, y is 0. So it's going to be 0i. So that's 0. And then that makes it 2. So 2 because negative 1, that makes it 2, right? So it's going to go from here, go up 2. Because x is 0 is not moving in x direction, only y direction is moving, right? So same thing again, if I do negative 2, 0, that point, negative 2, 0 is over here. If x is, your y is 0, so it's going to be 0. And then 2 times 2 is 4, so it's going to be 4. That's a positive 4, so it's going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, so way up. Goes like that. So when it looks like it's going, if it goes away from 0, it's farther away from 0, the magnitude is bigger, right? Okay, let's do in the third quadrant, let's say negative 1, negative 1, 1, negative 1, 1. If I do negative 1, 1, that's going to be 1 is 1, y is 1, and that makes it positive 2. Positive 2, 1, 2. So if it is in this one, I'm going to change the color. Can I change it? Maybe not right now. So negative 1, 1. So I'm going to go 1 right and 2 up. 1, 2 up. So like that. Okay. So these are the if I collect all that, tons of them at different points, and you can see the vector field. Okay. All right, I'll stop here.